you think of yourselves as great writers, but then when you hit a wall, you just say fuck it. It's like they never develop. There's never been a process. Rich hears ideas and parts and riffs and works on them and works on them and works on them, but he doesn't hear things in the context of a whole song. When I was playing with Slash, I really saw a huge difference because Slash is playing parts, but Slash hears an entire song in his head and then has to go find it and chase it and connect the dots. Rich just hears a riff and then goes, where does this go? Ba-da-da-down-da-down. 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 That's it. Ba-da-da-down-da-down. Now where? It's like playing the game Simon. It's just like and Chris is more of a writer of. Chris hears a song in his head and then goes and finds the parts. Rich just hears parts. And there's a lot to be said for either way. It's not a better than or worse than, but it's just how they work. And, there was, Rich would hear a song, Rich would hear a part and think it's a chorus, and Chris would always say that's a verse. Like Chris almost always heard his parts as different things. And so, but then there's songs, like for every song that's a bit of a struggle, like Soul Singing went through a million different variations, but a song like Miracle to me, I don't remember that being it. I think Rich just was writing those parts. They put that song together in just like a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
And a song like Greasy Grass River, which became ultimately, I think, my least favorite Black Crow song of all time.
Really?
Yeah. When we tracked it, I dug it. I thought that track was live and fun and just felt good to me. But that's a great song. That's a great example of a song that could have been a great rock song and wasn't to me. And it just was It just didn't. It's just not finished, And it's like Cosmic Friend could have been really cool, total Zeppelin-y sounding, Houses of the Holy kind of vibe. And I just don't think those. The lyrics are just kind of like. The cosmos is calling. I mean, come on, man. Say something real. What do you really think about it? What's a real, authentic thought? What are you afraid of? What are you excited by? Just the lyrics that they don't have to be as specific, but by design, writing opaque lyrics is a little nuts to me.
Because I feel like a lot of people love that song.
I think they do. Yeah. Greasy Grass River? I don't know.
I feel like that's always a pretty popular live song. Or like Midnight from the Inside Out.
Yeah, I like that song. Midnight from the Inside Out I liked. I thought it was a good track too. It just felt, it was on the money.
There's like a lot of hard riffing songs on that record.
Oh yeah. And and if we had been at a proper studio with a producer who was paying attention, sonically the record's pretty disappointing to me.
Yeah.
Again, if it had just been...
It's like a lot of weird filters on vocals, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, Chris he sang himself... He screamed himself into a corner on doing those Jimmy Page shows. I mean, there's that too. It would have been great to have done that whole tour. And the truth is, if we had done 55 shows of that year, I don't think Chris would have been singing for 2 years.
Yeah.
And he fucking shredded his voice. And again, he never did anything to help himself. He didn't take care of his voice, too. By just simply getting sleep and real rest and drinking a shit ton of water and doing all the things every other vocalist on earth does,
right?
He might have been in a little better shape. But, I'm just trying to think about what are the songs on that record. I mean, I literally never listened to live.
There's Lickin'.
Oh, yeah, that's just thrown together real fast. I mean, obviously not a whole lot of thought went into Lickin'.
Was that the first single? I feel like that was, or was one of the first.
I think Soul Singing was the only one we made a video for.
What?
There's a video for Lickin' and a video for Come On, Come On that are just one camera, shot in a rehearsal space just to have something.
Yeah.
And then Soul Singing was just a dreadful video in a field, and I twisted my ankle in a gopher hole and just about died out there. It fucking sucked.
No Use Lying.
I like No Use Lying. I thought that was a cool song.
Young Man, Old Man.
See, I always liked the original version of that. It was called Old Man in the Midnight Sea, just for that riff. It was just more rock.
Yeah.
And we had that song going back. I remember working on that for By Your Side, like with Kevin Shirley. Those parts had been around for a long time.
Come On is kind of a generic song. Cypress Tree.
Yeah, Cypress Tree we wrote. That was on the By Your Side tour. We started playing that at Soundcheck. Coming up with that arrangement.
Lay It All on Me.
Yeah, I mean, I remember having a conversation with Chris about that, about the lyric, just like, because it was I said, like, he goes, yeah, this song's kind of about, I kind of look at it like, he said something about, I think it's kind of like my dad's view of the world, or something about his father. And I went, what are you talking about? That's just you, it's you. He goes, what do you mean? I go, like, dude, that's the most you had a dream, now you wish you hadn't blown it? What are you talking about? That's you. And I think it's kind of okay to admit you wish you'd done things differently. Maybe, I don't think that's about Stan. He was like, maybe, I don't know. Just like, it's the story of the Black Crowes. You just fucking, and not only that, now you, lay it all on me. It's still got to be all about you. It's like, I did all this shit. Come on down, old man, crooked man, and stay a while. You used to have a dream. I'm like, you're talking about yourself. It's already over. You blew it. And he was just like, I don't think so. I'm like, well, what did your dad ruin? What are you talking about? He's selling clothes. It was just a funny, odd thing. I don't know. But it was not a charged conversation at all. I mean, like, again, living in New York, and, we were seeing Chris and Kate, like, we were hanging out, like, all the time during that period. And it was a real, it was just a mellow time. Not fighting. I mean, I know that Chris and Rich had their disagreements, but they were just that. It was just, I guess everything had just kind of settled into this is what it is.
So do you remember, like was the record company happy with Lions? Or like,
I remember them coming to the studio for us to play them some songs. Like, a few of the people came over to the theater, and we had to burn a CD so we could just play it on a stereo, because we couldn't have playback in the theater. It was like such a fucking stupid system. And so we had a CD, and they sat down, and I remember Rich put the CD on and cranked it up really loud. And I'm watching their faces, and he played them Midnight from the Inside Out, like, loud as shit. And they're all just kind of like, yeah, okay, like, they're not fans. They are literally going to think, can I get this played on the radio? That's what they're here for.
Right.
And the brothers both really, I just remember being there, and Pete and I looking at each other like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to blow their ears off? You're not trying to prove to them. You're not going to make a point by. I mean, it was just that thing. There were so many things like that. So much of a disconnect from the business that we're in. This is our job. These are professionals. We're here to make music, and they're there to market it and promote it. Right. And they need to know what their tools are. They don't need to headbang and pump their fist in the air. That's not what they're here for. They look at music very differently than us, and that's how it gets sold. And the brothers always had a very, I remember Rich would love to say, it's not the business of music, it's the music business. Music first, and then they figure their shit out. I'm like, are you done? Are you done? Seriously? Who fucking cares? Postscript, when we were making Warpaint in 2007, I have to remember to tell you this story, because Paul Stacey punched Rich. Only person to ever punch Rich Robinson, not named Chris Robinson, that I know of. No, I hit Rich once, but that was in the middle. That was different. But Rich said, if we can just, in 2007, 2008, right before it came out, he said, man, but if we could just sell, like, he had convinced himself that Warpaint was going to be a really big success. And he said, if we can just sell like 3 million copies, we don't even have to do like 5.